and now in Eastern Africa. And coming to East Africa to establish the charism of preaching in the vision of St Dominic, doctrinal preaching, and the teaching and theological discussion in the Thomistic tradition. In that way, help to plant the charism in the different fashions of preaching in the parish, preaching in the retreat centers, giving seminars, and also days of recollection, to facilitate that theological discussion that will help the people to encounter the gospel of Jesus Christ in its richness, and also to experience its transforming grace. In that way, the Dominicans continue over the years to look for ways, better ways and good ways of planting that culture. And that has to start, first of all, with the cultural encounter. The charism encounters the culture, and the culture encounters the charism. That will be the challenge that will be forever there with the Dominicans coming into this part of Africa.
We go back to around the year 1990, when the Master of the Order proposed to the two provinces in the United States, St. Joseph's and St. Martin de Porres, to come, as he said, to plant the order in East Africa. And so Paul Philibert and Jordan Ertl were the provincials at that time, so they came out here to look it over. And then, having spent a little bit of time with Bert Eben, they returned to Rome and visited the Santa Sabina. In the meantime, Paul Philibert had told Jordan that he thought that the southern province, Saint Martin de Porres, could not spare the manpower. So the Master of the Order asked Jordan Ertl, when he went to the consul, it was the proudest moment in his regime, in his term of office, that he proposed that we, the province of St. Joseph's, take it on as our project. And they said yes.
So wonderful is to see the young Dominicans take charge and really go into ministry and doing such great things in terms of education. Father Jude Massey, who's the director of the Institute for Social Communications at Tangaza. Father Maury Scapers has, over the years, of course, he's very involved in Tangaza, first of all in theology and now in social communications. Father Dominic Mutuku, who is teaching philosophy over at Consolata Institute of Philosophy. Father Tesha he's teaching in 3 institutes at Tangaza. He's teaching, there's a Center for Leadership and Development, there's an Institute for Youth Ministry, and also in the social communications. What a wonderful thing it is to see the Dominican presence there at Tangaza. Father Joseph Mary, who has recently joined us in August, is teaching. He's at Consolata, he's at Tangaza, he's with people called the Apostles of Jesus. He's also teaching some sisters programs. There are other ministries that are also taking place. In Kisumu, they've just started, Father Greg Maturi and Father Kevin are very much involved in getting a retreat center off the ground, and it's very promising.
Welcome to St. Catherine of Siena Retreat Center, run by the Dominican Friars here in Kisumu. The retreat center is a beautiful 5-acre piece of property, well maintained. It has 3 buildings and 20 bedrooms, nicely furnished for overnight retreats. We also have days of recollection. There's plenty of space here for quiet reflection, meditation. The retreat center is available for other events as well, for weddings, conferences. This is the Dominican Friars' contribution to the Catholic Church here in Kisumu.
Father Rafael Pio has been putting his energies into a new parish. It's a small parish, but we've been asked to really develop it, and he's been doing great things.
A parish that has been started in January of this year, 2018, and the friars have put me here to do the groundwork. First of all, to gather information about the parish, the viability of the parish. We are still requesting well-wishers to support us either with the vestment, things like the rubo, the chalices, or the ciboriums, and other things that we need for the new parish.
Father Fred Vumbi up there, of course, had been the director of for Catholic University, their center there in Kisumu. Father Charles is a variety of ministries, and again, so much. Father John Baptist, the novice master, who's teaching. Father Luke Beth is in Rome right now. He is working on the degree in Scripture. Our brother Thomas Nicholas Odiambo, who has been lent to the Vicariate of Angola. We have our parish, St. Catherine's, which is really built by the people, slowly by slowly.
It's a new church that we started constructing way back the year 2011. 7 years down the line, we have not been able to complete the church. In the very near future, we will say the church is completely finished so that it can be consecrated. We have been having several challenges since 2011. First and foremost is lack of finances.
We have 5 postulants. In this program, we have various events. First of all, we have the liturgy. We take part in the liturgy of the hours together with the rest of the community, which includes also Mass and personal prayer. And we also have some informal classes which are taught by the senior friars. In the postulants program, we have also some other activities. We have sports where they take part together with the rest of the community. We have some manual activities that are current, and also we have some parts of recreation that we both do sometimes with the senior community, other times we do ourselves as the postulants group.
And to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now.
Our novitiate in the Vicariate of Eastern Africa reopened on the 8th of August 2016 with 5 novices. This year is our second intake with 3 novices, 1 for the Vicariate and 2 for the Vice Province of Southern Africa. The formation community has been rewarded by the new assignment of 3 experienced friars. Our novices go for the apostolate in the neighborhood where we have a college, RIAT, Institute of Advanced Technology. The students come to our compound and they go to SOS to serve the disadvantaged children, and they also participated in the national Lenten campaign in the Archdiocese of Kisumu.
The formation in this community is quite interesting, and I must say that from the time I was appointed Master of Students, it has been interesting because I've seen growth. I've seen people growing from, as the scriptures would say, from strength to strength, from grace to grace. In the house, our formation program is one that is very structured in such a way that being studented, each and every student brother knows what to do, when, and how to follow the house schedule and things like that. In terms of formation per se, as a mass of students, we really focus and concentrate on the main areas of formation that are quite recommended. That is human formation, intellectual formation, and spiritual formation. And all these fit very well with the Dominican pillars that we all try to grow ourselves in. These are the pillar of community life, prayer life and liturgy, study and apostolate.
I'm a student here at the Consolata Institute of Philosophy, where we Dominicans in the Vicariate of Eastern Africa take our initial philosophical studies. Philosophical studies here at the Institute are very interesting, and we get to learn a lot about philosophers and their contribution to our Christian heritage. In particular, we also have studies also related to our Dominican heritage, including units in St. Thomas Aquinas, that is in Summa Contra Gentiles. We are also very happy and delighted to have some of our elder brothers who as well are lecturers within this institute.
We have celebrated the solemn profession of one of the Dominican nuns. Whenever these events happen, we always come as a Dominican family together. We, the friars, come out to support the nuns. The Dominican friars have been here. Other members of the Dominican family, the Dominican Sisters of the Sacred Heart who live in Thika. We have also had the Dominican laity who were here with us. The Dominican family is big in the Eastern Africa. It's even bigger than this, but at least those are the ones who have been here. We also have sisters across in Uganda and other places.
They do so many things for us. Celebrating Mass, they are always there for us. Teaching some of the sisters in the formation as well, and also us, the professed sisters. And like these celebrations, we are always together, working together as a family.
And of course, with the outreach, there go challenges, of course. The very diverse tribal cultures of this part of the world. There are about more than 40 cultures in Kenya itself. And then, we have material challenges also, because teaching and preaching in this part of the world is not profitable, right? So we have to find ways of making of surviving.
the shamba we grow different kinds of vegetables, and we use them in the house. We don't need to go out to buy like sukuma wiki, to buy spinach. We don't need to buy cabbage. We grow them in the shamba. We also have animals. We have poultry birds like turkeys. We have chicken, local ones. We have also broilers. We have layers. So we get most of the products from the shamba.
This farm, which we call a shamba, can support itself. That we can raise enough vegetables and enough milk, bring in enough milk, eggs, meat. These local chickens are called kienyeji, and most people like the kienyeji better than the commercial chickens. So we're trying to build up our kienyeji. We also get broilers, which is the commercial chicken, and their purpose is for meat. We're very lucky with the turkeys. We're doing something right, and we don't know what it is with the turkeys.
Our daily meals are taken together as a family, as a community. The sharing of announcements at the end of dinner has become an institution in our vicariate. In those announcements, news is shared, greetings and thanks are given, guests are presented to the community, plans for the following days, and reports on some activity just finished are delineated, and topics are floated that will later be discussed in our formal community meeting. It's an important moment of the day for community coordination, to know what's going on in your brothers' lives. We have regular community meetings with financial accountability, personal plans and desires put in common, calendars harmonized, community projects evaluated, all of which brings about a sense of moving forward. We pray the divine office together, charting large parts of the office daily in our 3 houses. We celebrate community mass daily and pray for the dead. Every day we come before the Lord as brothers. Prayer is the foundation of our life, which has great sense even when nobody from outside shows up. We all appreciate each other's commitment to prayer as a manifestation of our fidelity to the Lord, to whom we've consecrated our lives, but also of our fidelity to the brethren, supporting them in our community prayer and being supported by them. The friars' interest and fraternal support of each other manifests itself in various ways. Interest in the apostolic work of each other, sharing difficult situations and happy outcomes, readiness of the brethren to help out, to replace or support a brother in his ministry by sacrificing our time and energy to fulfill his responsibilities, joint apostolates where we work together in a pastoral setting. We have a common commitment to self-sustainability in the vicariate, shared hopes for the provincial chapter, and the Vicariate Assembly in the coming months. I see a common welcome of postulants, novices, students and their families, whatever their background. Diversity is one of the pillars of our Dominican community life in the Vicariate. We have a good mix of ages, nationalities, cultures and personalities. No ethnic group has a majority of representation among the friars. This has preserved us from some discriminatory practices that even unconsciously afflict religious communities with the majority of its members from one or another ethnic group.
We have the Dominican fathers. We are happy. They are very humble people. They are down to earth. They are well educated and they know how to preach for us nicely, and the Christians love them.
I want to thank and appreciate the Dominican Friars. We've partnered with them as a college for the last 20 years. They have been very supportive to our students in terms of Christian leadership and pastoral leadership.
My experience in the novitiate has been very good to me, so excited. I've learned the Dominican life with the help of brothers and the community in general. So it has been a good experience to me in terms of prayer, especially scriptures and the other classes.
In my novitiate, I was exposed in many things like prayers, study, and we also had the apostolate, whereby we help the brothers out there as preachers
has been a nice experience living with different people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different nationalities, and speaking different languages. But thank God, because of English, we have been united.
Here in East Africa, we have a fraternity in Kenya, in Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi. We belong to the Kenyan Pro Chapter, and our responsibility, our calling as lay Dominicans is really to preach, to pray, and to live as a community.
A few moments I've also had a chance to interact with the Dominicans, both in Rhode Island, the Providence College, and also Washington, D.C., and the spirituality is just amazing.